Look at this. I'm freaking huge. Freaking huge. Peekaboo. Yum 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 yum. Yum yum. Welcome. I'm your master level expert fitness trainer, Alex Diaz, aka Mr. Freaking Huge. And I'm gonna be talking about weightlifting straps and belts. But before I do, I just want to answer a really quick question. For someone left me on my channel somewhere. Francisco Terracini. Hi, are you a guitar player like me? Have you ever gotten tendon related injuries from adding weightlifting to your guitar practicing routine? No, I'm not a guitar player like you because I think you way better, and I never had any problem with tendons or anything like that, or had any injuries or issues. What I will say is that most people that are musicians and do a lot of finger movements and guitar get a lot of carpal tunnel problems, but I never had any issues. The only issue I had with playing guitar is the metal strings chafing my fingers from sliding up and down. That's the only problem. But anyway, let me go into the my own little thing I want to talk about now, which is when should you use weightlifting straps and when should you use belts and when not to use them. Okay, so for one thing, you gotta really focus on your for when it comes to using your belt. You gotta really train your core muscles more, so you don't need the belt. Okay, so you want to do a lot of planking, hyperextension, stuff that work your back, your core muscles, to strengthen those muscles, so you don't use the belt as like a crutch. Okay, you want to have strong core muscles to help you support your lift. So that's the first thing I want to say. If you continue to use the belt, you're not going to develop strong core muscles. Okay, so you should only be using the belt, okay, for the heavy set you're doing. If you're doing, let's say you're doing some heavy, let's say 100-pound deadlift. I'm just saying, 100-pound deadlift, right? And that's your light set, and your heavy set is 500 pounds. Then don't use your belt for the 100-pound, 200-pound lift. Do it for the last heavy set that you're gonna do, because that's the most dangerous one, where you need some kind of brace, some kind of support for your back and core in New York, so help you lift the heavy weight. Okay, using the belt always, even for your light sets, is gonna weaken your core strength, and you're gonna become accustomed to using a belt, and it's gonna become like a tourniquet to you. So only use a belt when you're lifting really heavy stuff. You don't need to be using a belt for bicep curls and like shoulder presses and stuff like that, unless you're like doing 100 plates, because there's no need for it. These are small muscles that don't involve your core much, as like a squat or like a deadlift. Okay, if you need a belt to do your curl, then you obviously have bad form and weak core muscles, because there's no reason for you to put 3 plates on a bar and try to curl that, unless you're like a pro bodybuilder who could lift that weight and they have that much muscle to do that. But as far as that's the belts, okay, so I will say use the belts more for your squats, your deadlifts, heavy ass lifts for your last sets. Okay, as far as your wrist wraps, okay, that's another thing. If you become accustomed to using the wrist wraps for every set, then you will have weak forearm muscles. So work on your forearm muscles using grip masters, hand grips, wrist curls, a lot of different workouts to build your forearm strength. So you want to be able to grip the bar with your forearm and have good forearm strength, so you don't have to rely on using wrist wraps. Again, if you want to use wrist wraps, use them at the last set, the heavy one that you want to lift heavy. Because again, if you could do a lat pull down, and your normal lat pull down is easy for you, is 100 pounds. I'm just giving out random numbers. 100-pound lat pull down is easy for you, and a 300-pound is your max. Then use it for the 300-pound max because you're gonna tend to, you're gonna need, your forearms won't be able to grip that much weight and hold it for too long. Same with deadlifts and everything else. So you don't want to become dependent on the grips for every set, because then you're gonna have weak forearm muscles. So if your first set's 100 pounds and your max is 300, then don't use the straps. Just do your workout, okay? Build your forearm strength. But here we go. Here's a but. If you want to focus more on your back muscles, then I would recommend using wraps. Okay. So if you're not doing any form workouts, start doing them to help your grip strength. That will not only help with your back and everything else. It helps with any kind of gripping, even for your chest presses. If you're gonna lift heavier, it's gonna help you. So I don't even use a belt, to be honest. Maybe on one heavy deadlift set, or a heavy squat when I used to do like heavy squats. But I really don't use the belt much. I use the straps when I do a heavy set, or I feel that my forearms are really burnt. Because then that makes me know that, well, you know what, I'm not really focusing on my back muscles anymore because my forearms are fried. So now I'm gonna add the wrist wrap to help me, and so I can focus on my back more, doing rows and whatever, pull-ups, whatever you want to do, or any kind of back workout. So I would only use wraps if heavy sets, or if my forearm feels fatigued and I want to get good contraction in my back muscles and not have to worry about my grip so much. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope it's very helpful, and that's it. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both my channels. Go to my fan page, like it, facebook.com/that'snotsexy. And if you're not subscribed, then that's not sexy. Freaking huge.